Hello, everyone. Good to see you. It's good to see everyone today. We are back again for another tarot study. This is part 3. So today we will be doing the Magician. No, last week was the Magician and the High Priestess. This week we are coming live to go over the Emperor and the Empress. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, see if anybody comes in, a couple of people. So I want to thank those of you that have been watching the tarot study. I really appreciate it. I hope that you're finding it informative. I'm enjoying doing it, and I'm enjoying learning along with you. I am picking up a few things from my different decks, and definitely some things that I hadn't known about the symbolism of the cards. There is so much symbolism in each card, and every time you look at the cards, I feel like you're learning something new. So it's really kind of cool. All right, so I am going to go ahead and get started. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hi, October. Good to see you, sweetie. So the first card we are going to do this week is the Empress, which is a beautiful card. If you look at that card, you will see her crown has 7 flowers on it. Yeah, 7 flowers. I was just making sure there were flowers on this card. Rather, 12. I'm sorry. Not 7, 12. So let me say that again. 12 flowers on her crown. Here. And if you can see her necklace, which is kind of hard to see, her necklace has 9 pearls on it. Now, if you know, the Empress card is called the Ultimate Mama card, and I wish I could leave this. I have to find a way to be able to show this card and show my face at the same time. If you could think of this card, she is the Ultimate Mama card. She is Mother Earth. She is Mother Nature. She is an abundance card. If you look, her feet are in grains. So she is fertility. There's water flowing, a river in the background. Another sign of fertility and being one with the universe and nature. There is the sign of Venus, which is the sign of love here. Her colors, the white robe, the red, and all the greenery signifies being one with nature, being one with the universe. This card is very much a fertility card, a card of abundance. So this card is life is abundant. She wears the whole universe on her body, the 12 stars on her crown, the 9 pearls representing the 12 stars represent the 12 zodiac signs, and the 9 pearls represent the 9 planets. So she's got the whole universe on her. Her feet, as I said, are in the greens for fertility, the river flowing. She's got the scepter. Sorry, I was checking my notes. She's got the scepter she's holding. Yeah, that's one of the things, October, I learned while I was doing some research for tonight was about the planets and the zodiac. I never noticed that either. That's why I like doing this class, because I always learn something new. So she's got the scepter, which signifies authority or control over nature. And she is a card of passion, right? This and feelings. This isn't a card of thinking. This is a card of passion over life. So when this card comes up in a reading, it's definitely a card of passion, feeling, but it also depends where it falls in the reading. So you really have to pay attention to where it falls among the other cards and kind of read it with the other cards. Because you can also say that if the Empress is in a reading, it could signify pregnancy. And we sure as heck do not want to be reading for somebody and say, oh, look, there's the Empress card, you're pregnant, because that's the last thing we want to do. I highly, highly recommend against ever doing a reading and doing that or saying that. So please don't. But you want to read this card, with the cards around it. So it does represent abundance. It does represent fertility. Fertility and abundance in signs. It could be fertility of ideas, fertility in terms of a new business, fertility of creation, creativity, passion, depending on where it falls in the reading or the spread. It could also, yes, no baby talk ever, Opal. Or, unless it's somebody close to you and you feel like you, I don't know, I just wouldn't go there. But that's me. So also, depending on where it falls in the deck, it can also be a lack of these things. So it could be hey, John, it could be a lack of the ability to feel, or a lack of being connected to nature, a lack of creativity, a lack of inspiration, a lack of abundance in life, and needing to work on some of those issues. So when you look at the cards that it's sitting near, you'll be able to pick up on that as you learn the other cards and you get to know the cards. And a lot of that is as you read the cards and as you learn the cards. That's why when you learn tarot, it's best to read for yourself for a while before you start reading for other people, because you'll be able to learn how the cards interplay with each other. And then you can start reading for those people closest to you, and then doing free readings. And there's a way to start building up your readings. It's, so you can learn how the cards play. Sorry. So the Empress card also has this yellow again. Yellow is a very positive color. Yellow is a very powerful color. You only reach for yourself when it's your love. Trust me, I think sometimes the hardest person to read for is yourself, because I will have a deck and I will pull a card and I will say, no, that card's not the right card. I must have to pull another card. So it's very difficult to read for yourself. Sometimes we just don't like what comes up. So and I've been reading October. I started when I was I think I was 17. I started, and oh God, I think Welcome back, John. I think I'm going to be 42, I think. I always forget how old I am. So I've been reading a long time, and I'm starting in the last few years to really feel comfortable with the cards. It's a long time. So I'm going to show some of the other decks that I have that have the Empress card. This is the regular tarot weight. It's the holographic tarot weight. It's the A.E Tarot weight holographic. It's just got that little shine to it. Not really great for on camera, but it's the same card as the normal tarot weight. Rider weight, sorry. This is my favorite deck, one of my favorites, the Cat Tarot. This is the Empress for this deck. Oops. Really cute. She's got her crown on. She's got control of her universe. And I'm going to read what this I love this deck because it has the most whimsical explanations for the cards. So this one says, the alpha female rules over her empire peacefully and plentifully. This all in abundance, the stars in the Emperor's crown represent her connection to the seasons and the skies. So again, that connection to the universe. The red cushion signifies love and luxury, echoed by her heart-shaped shield. Who cares if it's actually a squeaky toy? What matters is that it's at her feet and she is in control. So I'll put this up again. Her squeaky toy that she's in control of with her red cushion. Adorable. I love this one. It cracks me up. That would be your cat. My cat thinks he's the king of the world. I think it must be a cat thing. He thinks he controls it all. So then I have the this is the Game of Thrones deck, which Daenerys is the Empress in this one. Pretty fitting, I would say. Oops. And the description is, the Empress denotes the mother, wife, or female partner of an influential female. She symbolizes care, security, and abundance. So relationships flourish. This card can also predict a child. So remember, predict a child. We're not going to say that, but it can predict it. As she is traditionally paired with the Emperor, she represents stability and love. Creative projects also flourish. And she has an influence over home life that is harmonious. So I really like this one too. So that's the Game of Thrones deck. And that deck comes with a very hard covered book, which is nice. And then we have the Light Sears, which everybody I'm sure has seen. The Empress for this one. Yes, it could be the birth of something new as well. A new business, a new creative project. I could stop stumbling over my words. That would be great. This is the Empress in the light Sears deck. Actually, that's a good way to put it, April. The birth of something new, and then somebody's going to be like, well, could I be pregnant? And then there comes that question. So this is the Empress with the Earth as her stomach, which I love. So that's Mother Earth. Beautiful card. And this one is the Divine Feminine, prolific creativity, fertility, motherhood, unity, the goddess, sensuality, nurturing abundance, empathy, unconditional love, unification of body, mind, and spirit. October, wait till you start reading for other people. They want you to fill in the blanks. If you've been here on Tuesdays, you see how that goes. So then the last one I have is the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And that card is this one, which I really like. She's got her shield. She's got her scepter, showing she's in control. She's still wearing her white gown, showing the connection to nature. There's still nature behind her. Is that a river behind? No, it's not. It's not a river. Oh, it's snakes. Oh, let's see if they say anything about the significance of the snakes in this one. I'm going to do a walkthrough of this deck. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I am going to do it within the next week or so. I mean, this is a gorgeous one. Let's see what it says. The book is one of these, so it doesn't give you too much information. But let's see. Okay, yeah, it says the prerequisite to magic is thought. Once you put thought into action, the idea generates reality. So that's what we get for the description on this card. But we can see this card reminds me of Eve. So she is the mother of creation, right? So that's a very fitting card for the Empress. So those are the Empress cards that I have. I need to get some new decks. Oh, wait. No. Well, oh, I was going to say, I know I have another deck. Yes, this one. The last deck I have is the Modern Witch. This is the Empress for the Modern Witch. We have the river flowing in the background. We have the Venus symbol. Again, we have the white clothing. This is it's different, but it's very similar to the Rider-Waite. We have the foliage and the nature. We have the crown, but it looks like definitely less jewels on it. She does have jewelry on, but it doesn't have the symbolism like the Rider-Waite. So I'm going to take a look and see what. Yes, I think this is very pretty, very different, very modern. Let's take a look and see what the book says. If it says anything different. Let's see. So for this one, it says, love is everything. The Empress is feeling herself. Oh, I like that. The Empress is feeling herself. This benevolent goddess is alive and truly connected to the world and others through passion and emotion. Remember, we said this is an emotional card. The Empress is empowered by her love and sexuality, and her energy flows through her and everything around her. She gives life to the lush vegetation and receives life through the river. She welcomes pleasure and feelings and fills each moment with ecstasy. Ooh, I love that. Absolutely beautiful description. And I think that's a great card to end the Empress on. Great description of her. So I think that, for me anyway, that gives me a different perspective of the Empress, because when I was taught the Empress, when I was taught tarot, I was taught keywords. So I was taught the Empress is the ultimate mama. The Empress is abundance. And I went from there with it. But to read different descriptions, you know, is really nice. Sometimes you get the book and you don't read the descriptions, and I'm guilty of that for sure. But I like going in and actually reading the descriptions with the cards, because even if you're not using a certain deck, you can take those descriptions and use them in your readings, which is nice. So that was the Empress. And the second card of the night is the Emperor, which always goes along with the Empress. And he is the, if we go by keywords, he is the authority figure. He is dominance. He is structure. He represents control. Absolutely, April. It's awesome to pull from different descriptions. When I first started learning, I had a hard time doing that because I got very into what I learned, and it used to upset me because I would think, well, what I learned said, you know, like the Empress was the ultimate mama card. So if I read somewhere else that, or I heard another reader say that the Empress represented passion and sexuality, I would be very confused and it would throw off my readings. But I guess it takes a little bit sometimes to be able to reconcile using the different descriptions, but it gets easier. If you're watching this and you're in that position, take what you're able to and go with your intuition on the card. And once you can do that, you'll be able to pull in all the descriptors and work it however it works for you. Because not everybody's going to have the same description of a card. We're going to have the basic keywords and the basic meaning of each card, but everybody's going to have a slightly different interpretation of the card. So I use one deck for the most part, and then I pull other decks in. So the Emperor is the guy who is in control. Ah, there he is. I was looking for the sexy Emperor from the Light Sears. I love this one. So the traditional Emperor card is this one, who's kind of old, looks like a religious figure. He definitely looks like a person in authority. If you look at the picture, he's got his scepter, which again represents power, not power. The orb represents power. The orb in his hand represents power. The scepter represents, oh my gosh. Why can't I remember what the scepter represents? Hold on. Wow, I have my notes here. Yeah, the scepter represents good fortune. So this is a man of wealth. This is a nobleman. He's got his boots on, and the dress, you can tell he's a royal man, right? He's a boss. So he's anything from like somebody who runs a multi-million-dollar company. If you think of in terms of today, because we don't have kings, right? So if you think of a multi-million-dollar company to somebody who runs the local Starbucks, okay? But he's definitely a boss who's in control, very quiet man. He doesn't need to be loud to get his point across. He represents establishment and structure. Again, doesn't have to say much to represent that. He could also be a police officer, a court, like a judge, somebody who works in those positions. He's very logical, in control. Everything he does is logical. He doesn't deal in emotions very much at all. Okay? When this card comes up in a reading, it could represent a person, such as the police officer, the person, the CEO, but it could also be representing yourself. And when it's representing yourself, it could mean that this is a time where you need to be focusing on what are your beliefs and really honing in on, do you need to rethink your beliefs and come up with your own kind of moral compass and code right now? And if you have your own moral code, right, you already have that code, are you willing to stand behind it? So is it maybe a time to leave a structured religion, say, and go towards your own path? These are things that might come up. And there's the emperor is associated with the structure. So sometimes it's breaking free of that structure. But even though the emperor is associated, sorry, my hair is so frizzy today, it's driving me nuts. Even though the emperor is associated with that structure, we also have to remember that there's a need for balance. So this card is kind of a funny one, because even though he's associated with structure, he also reminds us that, okay, there's so much structure, but there's also that, you know what? You can break some of the rules. You don't have to follow them all. So you need that balance in there. Now, I'm not saying go out and, go break rules. I'm not saying that at all, please. But I'm saying, sometimes, you have to decide what your moral code is and set that for yourself. So figuring out that balance is what this card is about. When this comes up in a man's reading, okay, it's usually a time for you to evaluate your mastery, your self-mastery, mastering your feelings, getting your thoughts and everything together. When it comes up in a woman's reading, she's usually a single mom who is raising, if it's referring to her, a single mom who is raising her children as feminists. Usually when this card comes up, the people who it's representing are raising very strong children, very controlled children, children who are secure in themselves. Could also represent a woman who has a strong father figure or a strong male mentor in her life. So this emperor, this emperor figure is also a person who takes on too much responsibility. They don't have any time for fun. They are so busy working that they don't have any time for thrills. No frills, no thrills. They're not going out spending money willy-nilly. They are just, I know what I got to do. I'm doing what I got to do, and I don't have time for any nonsense. Cut and dry, that's the type of person they are. So that's what this card is about. The two cards we had this week were very, very cut and dry. But sometimes that's nice, because when we get them, when we pull them up in a reading, we know what they mean. This one is a signifier card, which means it really represents a person that we can pretty well pinpoint in a reading. So it's a good one. It's somebody good fortune, like I said. So we're going to look at some of the other cards, and please let me know if you have any questions about either of the cards. If you're watching the replay, let me know if you have any questions or any comments. I do come back to these, to the videos, and check the comments. So you don't have to be here to ask a question or make a comment. I know we have busy lives and we all can't be here. So the Emperor, this is the A.E holographic. I think I'm saying that right. I don't have the box. I'm going to have to check it, but it's the holographic one. I really like this deck. It's beautiful in person. It's hard to use. I tried to use it on camera. It's just a little bit hard. I really like using it in person, though. You can, you know, it glares in on the camera. Whee! So that's that one. It has the same description as the normal A.E rider, which is, I'll read that one real quick. It says stability, power, and protection. A great person, one with conviction and reason. So that's that one. Then I'm going to go to the cat deck, which is making me laugh already. Check out this guy. He's the Emperor. He has his own crown, but this card seems like, and I'm going to read it to see if I'm right, but it seems like his convictions got him in a little bit of trouble there. So we'll see. That's just a funny image. Let's see what it says. It says, with the right attitude, even a cone of shame can be a crown. Oh, that's cute. The Emperor holds all the cards with absolute authority. After all, a cone only prevents cats from biting themselves. Everyone else is fair game. But power must be used responsibly, and the card reminds everyone to exercise serious self-control. Master yourself and destiny will follow. So that's a pretty powerful message, even though it comes in a silly card. Master yourself first, and then the rest will follow. And this is the cat tarot, if anybody's interested. I think it was like, it wasn't that expensive. I think it might have been, I don't have the box with me, but I think it might have been like $12.99. It wasn't that expensive. And if anybody's in the Wish Witch group and you're interested, add it to your wish list. You never know. That's that one. And then we have the Game of Thrones deck. That's a nice Emperor. So this one is, and in this he's got his sword for his power and authority. And it says, oh my gosh. Let's see. The patriarch, the authority, protector, support, courage, order, and structure. The Emperor is Jon Snow, King of the North and head of House Stark. He holds Longclaw, his sword, or rare Valyrian steel, a symbol of authority and protection. As Valyrian, steel keeps its sharpness. It signifies security through longevity of rule. Wearing armor embellished with the Stark direwolf sigil, he stands before the land of the North as warrior and leader. Jon Snow does not need a symbol of power, nor does he expect devotion. Believed to be born as an illegitimate child and ignorant of his true heritage, he is of his people. I don't want them to kneel for me, he declares. I want them to fight with me when the time comes. His courage earns him the power and respect. So that's it. Remember, the Emperor is one of quiet leadership. He doesn't have to yell at everybody. And I keep thinking of the actor that is Jon Snow, and I forgot his name, but oh my God. Can you just picture him in the Emperor's card? Can we make that card, people? Can we have the real characters be this deck instead of these cartoony figures? Hello. I'd buy that deck in a heartbeat. All right, so then we have, I have things all over the place, sorry. Then we have this is another one. I love this one. This is the Light Sears deck, the Emperor. Talk about quiet control. Yes, I love the stories in that one. It's so good. I might do a walkthrough of that deck too. But it's not really good without the stories, so it would be an extremely long, drawn out. It wouldn't just be a flip through. The Emperor in the Light Sears deck, you see he's holding the chess piece, and I'm not good at chess, so somebody please let me know what chess piece that is. Is that the bishop? I think it might be the bishop. He's just sitting there, all kinds of confident, quiet confidence again. Yes, hello, gorgeous is right, April. So there's that quiet confidence again, not needing to get in anybody's face. Let's see what the book says. I swear that's why us females have so many tarot decks and like to go through the walkthroughs, because of the Emperor cards and the Devil cards. And okay, so it says the divine masculine authority, power, a natural leader, structure, strategic and analytical thinking, taking action and promoting oneself, keeping power checked. So that's for that one. Keeping your power checked, mastering oneself. That's what it's all about in life, isn't it? Okay, and the Emperor, this is an interesting one. This is the Modern Witch deck. Now, the Modern Witch, I did a walkthrough of this. If anybody is interested after seeing this card, you can check it out on my channel. The Emperor is a female. Very different take on the card. She's got the Ankh, so she's got her scepter. She's in control. She's in quiet control. She's not needing to scream at everyone. She has mastered herself. And now she can handle everybody else. So it's the same message, different gender. And all of the cards really can be all of the cards can be, the genders can be swapped. There are some decks that do it all in all females, some that do, I don't know if I've seen any that are all males. I've definitely seen all females with the whole feminist movement, but I don't know if I've seen all males. So look at this, the Emperor and the Empress in this deck, because they go together, the Emperor and the Empress. So the Empress is this sexy, kind of feminist, passionate female. And then the Emperor is this kind of a little bit stoic, in control female who's got it all together. Kind of a powerhouse female, I would say. Very interesting take on this card. Let me know in the comments what you think about this card as the Emperor. I think I'm kind of liking it. It reminds me of a CEO type. Could definitely see her going home after a work day to her kids. You know? And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what city that is behind her. Is that... I don't know what city that is behind her. But she's got the city behind her. It looks like she's in her office, but she's got that ancient kind of stone chair, which is interesting. So it's a modern take with an ancient feel. Love it. I am absolutely loving this deck. Again, I have to walk through, so. And then the last one I have for tonight is the Tarot of Sexual Magic. I always forget the name of this one. And oh my gosh. Okay. So this Emperor doesn't need anybody. This is a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit more neat. I don't want to say Neanderthal, but a little bit more. He's not so refined as the other emperors we've seen. You okay over there, April? He's not as refined as the other emperors we've seen. He's taking his control. He's got his sword smashed in his food. He's a little bit kind of manly there. He's definitely looking very manly. He's still got his control, though. The authority's there. He doesn't really need anybody. Right? Definitely very much dominant. In control. Absolutely love this Emperor card. So this is from the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And I will be doing a walkthrough on the channel of this deck. So look out for that. So those are the cards for this week. If anybody has any questions, comments, suggestions, rough and nice around the edges, absolutely, April. Anyone has questions, comments, suggestions, please let me know. I will definitely be coming back and checking out the comments. Next week, we will be going over the Lovers and the Chariot. So as I said, look out for the walkthrough of the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Tomorrow, I'll be back for readings. Thank you for those of you that came tonight. Thank you, April, for hanging out and chat with me. It's always a pleasure. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everybody who watches, whether you're here now or you come back. I'm only on YouTube about 6 months, and it just makes me so happy whenever anybody comes to chat, to watch, whatever. Whether it's replay or live, it still like gives me such smiles, and I really, really appreciate it. So if you guys could hit the like button for me if you are watching or if you come back to watch. And if you are liking what you see and want to subscribe, that would be awesome too. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, April. And I believe I have something coming from you at some point. I think it might have gotten here, but I'm going to have to look. So thank you. So I will talk to you all tomorrow night for the mini readings. Thank you so much for being here, for spending your time with me. Be well. Love you all. Mwah. Have a wonderful night.